Let's talk about stealth wealth. It almost sounds like something a paranoid relative would whisper to you at a family dinner, right? Like, when you get rich, tell absolutely no one. But here's a fascinating reality to kick off this explainer. Some of the absolute wealthiest people you walk past every single day are out there wearing basic clothes from Target. I mean, you would never in a million years guess that they have more money in their bank accounts than most of us will see in a lifetime. So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to break down why the most powerful financial strategy out there might just be keeping your mouth entirely shut.
Okay, let's dive into this. When you picture getting rich, what's the very first thing that pops into your head? Honestly, for a lot of us, thanks to this deeply ingrained social media culture we live in, it's Lamborghinis, massive mansions with rooms nobody ever uses, and walking out of designer stores weighed down by shopping bags. That's the expectation, right? But contrast that with the shocking reality. True, sustainable wealth often looks like a beat-up Honda Civic, modest homes, and totally everyday clothes. Why? Because the people driving those Hondas have figured out a secret about human psychology that most people completely miss. And that brings us to a brutally honest question, one that really strips away all the surface level answers. Do you actually want to be rich, or do you just want to look rich? Because there's a massive, life-altering difference between those two things. If we really dig into our egos for a second, a lot of people just want others to know they've made it. They want the respect, the admiration, maybe even a tiny bit of envy from their peers. But as you'll see, that intense desire for recognition is incredibly dangerous to your actual financial freedom. To fix this, we need a complete paradigm shift. Here is our blueprint for escaping that financial matrix today. We're going to cover 1. The illusion of wealth. 2. The parent's prison. 3. The stealth wealth superpower. 4. The economics of secrecy. And finally, 5. Redefining true prosperity. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The illusion of wealth, or the danger of broadcasting success. See, the moment you start showing off your wealth, you're essentially painting a massive, glowing target on your own back. And I don't just mean a target for criminals, though, scams and burglaries are definitely a very real concern when you advertise your net worth. The much more insidious danger is what actually happens to your relationships. Because once people know you have money, every interaction becomes, tainted. Suddenly, that new friend who always wants to hang out might just be expecting you to pick up the check at expensive restaurants. Distant relatives suddenly start calling you out of the blue. Money fundamentally changes how people behave around you. It can turn genuine friends into opportunists, which, ironically, makes the person showing off their wealth one of the loneliest people in the world. They're just constantly wondering, hey, do these people like me for who I am or just for what I can provide? Which brings us to Section 2, the appearance prison, and how ego sabotages freedom. Let's move to and see how this builds, step by step. Step 1, you buy an expensive luxury car to show off your success. But now, entering Step 2, you feel the pressure to live up to that new image. Your clothes need to match the car, your home needs to be worthy of the car, you start taking fancy vacations that align with this new, elevated persona you've created. Before you know it, you hit Step 3. You are working harder, spending way more, and stressing constantly just to maintain a facade you built for other people's benefit. And then finally, Step 4, you lose your financial freedom entirely. You are quite literally trapped in the appearance prison. Let's look at the real-world impact of that trap. On one side, we have a highly successful real estate mogul. Every morning, he puts on work boots, drives a beat-up pickup truck to his sites, and just jokes around with the crew. They have absolutely no idea he owns the entire development company. His stress is low, his relationships are genuine. On the flip side, you have a contractor who rolls up in a brand new, flashy luxury truck. Immediately, his crew starts demanding raises, his clients assume he's overcharging them, and his daily stress just skyrockets. So you have to ask yourself, which of these two people holds the real leverage and peace of mind? All right, Section 3, the stealth wealth superpower and escaping the matrix. So what exactly is this superpower? Well, stealth wealth is accumulating significant money while living modestly, driving reasonable cars, and keeping your financial status an absolute secret. This is insider knowledge, guys. When you practice stealth wealth, you essentially get to navigate the world like a financial superhero in civilian clothes. People treat you totally normally because they have no clue you've escaped the financial matrix that they're all still hopelessly trapped in. Just imagine this comically satisfying scenario for a second. You're at your high school reunion. The guy who used to be a jerk to everyone is standing there loudly bragging about his new Tesla and his fancy corner office. Meanwhile, you're just standing there quietly in your 5-year-old jeans, listening to him, knowing with absolute certainty that you could buy his entire subdivision without even having to check your bank balance. I mean, the immense psychological power of keeping your success a secret in that moment, it's literally priceless. But it's not just about that quiet satisfaction. Stealth wealth literally gives you X-ray vision into human nature. When people think you're just average, you get an entirely unfiltered look at their true character. You see who's genuinely generous. You learn who helps you without expecting a reward in return. And practically speaking, you completely avoid the wealth tax. When service providers think you're just a regular middle-class customer, you get honest quotes. The moment a mechanic or a contractor smells money, boom, suddenly premium services are suggested, and you fall victim to the wealth extraction industry. Secrecy protects you from all of that. Moving right along to Section 4, the economics of secrecy, the mathematics of staying quiet. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the math behind all this, which actually comes down to hedonic adaptation. This is the psychological phenomenon where we humans adapt to lifestyle upgrades astonishingly fast. You buy that new luxury car, and for the first week, it feels utterly amazing. But by month 3, it's just a car again. The thrill vanishes completely. But guess what sticks around? The burdensome monthly payment, the premium insurance, the expensive maintenance, the whole shebang. So let's look at the compounding math here. The show-off is constantly bleeding money on depreciating assets, usually funded by debt, just desperately trying to maintain this illusion. Their net worth stays incredibly low. Meanwhile, the stealth wealth builder is shopping at Costco, using coupons, driving a reliable car. And they aren't doing this because they have to, but because they realize every single dollar saved on unnecessary financial theater is a dollar they can invest. Over decades, those compounding returns create a massive, staggering difference in net worth. It's a real game changer. And that brings us to Section 5, redefining true prosperity and what money is actually for. If we strip away the ego for a minute, what is all this money actually for in the first place? There's an old, brilliant saying from our source material that perfectly captures this idea. When you're poor, you cut your own grass. When you're middle class, you pay someone else to cut your grass. But when you're truly wealthy, you cut your own grass again. Why? Because you've realized that true freedom means doing exactly what you want to do with your time, not what society expects rich people to do. So the absolutely crucial point here is this. Money is meant to buy you options and freedom. It's meant to reduce your daily stress, not add to it with a garage full of cars you constantly worry about scratching. It allows for genuine experiences, like traveling and engaging with locals without turning it into a performance for social media. Most importantly, it builds an unshakable financial confidence. It's knowing you can handle any emergency life throws at you, a broken car, a random medical bill, with quiet assurance rather than the nervous energy of someone living on shaky ground just to look rich. Ultimately, you can still be incredibly generous and enjoy life's great experiences, but it's on your terms. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. The best kind of rich is the kind nobody sees coming. So let me ask you, are you ready to step out of the appearance prison, stop playing the exhausting game of financial theater, and embrace the quiet, unshakable power of true prosperity? Keep your wealth stealth and watch your freedom grow. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.